back to my cozy homemaking channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how I clean my stove with a little bit of a twist. I got a Bissell Steam Shot for Christmas and I still have not used it. Normally I clean my stove with just a Scrub Daddy and thieves cleaner, so I'm going to test out what I normally do versus the Steam Shot and see which one does better. When I'm just doing a maintenance clean on my stove, I normally just wipe down the grates with a wet cloth, but when I'm doing a really deep clean, I scrub them in the sink. And as you can see, I let it get really dirty for this video. Unfortunately, it's impossible to have the exact same dirtiness on both sides of the stove. Obviously, this is the burner that I cook on the most, but overall, the stove is pretty dirty on all sides. So I'm gonna split it down the middle. On this side, I'm gonna steam clean. On this side, I'm gonna use my Scrub Daddy and my thieves cleaner, and we're gonna see which one does better. No matter what I'm cleaning, I always clean off the crumbs first, so that's what we're gonna do. Next, when I clean with my Scrub Daddy sponge, I normally spray it and then let it soak. I'm gonna get this really wet. Gonna wait a few minutes on this side, and now I will get to work with the Bissell Steam Shot. Like I said, I've never used this before, so here we go. Woo! This Steam Shot came with like a bunch of attachments. I'm using one with bristles because obviously I'm scraping up food. Creates a lot of water. I feel like I'm not doing this right. Let's see what it looks like. Okay, well, it's definitely cleaning it. It's also making it very wet. I don't know if you can see that. Well, it's cleaning it really well. Again, very wet. It is getting it very clean. All right, switching over to this side so that you can get a better view of this side. Now I'm just gonna clean with the Scrub Daddy. I let the thieves cleaner soak for a little while. When you let it soak, big pieces like this tend to come up a lot easier. And after I scrub, I just kind of wipe everything off. Normally I wipe my stove down every day after dinner, so it never gets this bad. But I was really curious to see the difference here. So it's kind of still drying a little bit, but you can see that this was the Steam Shot side and this was the Scrub Daddy side. They kind of look the same to me. So as you can see in the close-up, I honestly feel like the Scrub Daddy did just as good of a job as the Bissell Steam Shot. There's obviously less scrubbing with the Steam Shot, but it did produce a lot of water that you have to clean up. Kind of just depends on like which one you want to do less. Now I am going to try the Steam Shot on the grates because that I can do in the sink so the water buildup doesn't matter. Plus I hate scrubbing grates. So we're going to give this a shot on the grates and see how it does. Getting the grime off. Okay, for sure, definitely prefer the Steam Shot on the grates over scrubbing. I hate scrubbing grates, so I will definitely be using the Steam Shot on the grates from now on. top. I normally like to wipe down the front too, just so that it looks totally clean all at once. Just a super quick wipe down is all that it should require. Nothing fancy, nothing complicated. Unless you're doing a really, really deep clean, this should suffice. Okay, stove's all back together and super clean. Super quick recap, pros and cons of both. Steam Shot did really do a great job. I have no complaints at how well it cleaned, especially the grates. Like I said, I normally do a quick wipe down every single day and I don't really ever deep clean the grates that often, but now that I see how clean they are, I probably will be using this on them from now on. So it does work really well. I would say great for deep cleaning it for sure. It's less scrubbing, so I guess it's less work on your arms, if that's a concern of yours. It's not heavy, and the setup was super simple. Fill it up, plug it in, shoot. I would say the cons, even though the setup is simple, like you have to wait for it to heat up, you have to pull it out of the box, you have to take a few minutes to just get the whole thing set up, whereas the sponge you can just spray and scrub. It can be dangerous, like you can really hurt yourself on the steam because it's really hot. So I would say the biggest con is it's just a little bit more of a process to use. And then of course another mechanism you just have to keep clean. Another con is this leaves a lot of water everywhere, so not only do you have to steam clean it, you kind of have to soak up all the water when it's done. Pros of the Scrub Daddy and your plant-based cleaner. It's super quick. It's non-fuss, you don't have to wait for anything to heat up. The Scrub Daddy is my go-to sponge. I literally never use any other sponge in my home. It gets soft when it's hot and hard when it's cold so that you can adjust how hard you need to scrub. It's quick, it's simple, it's obviously cheaper, and of course there's nothing dangerous about it. I would say the only downside is you have to put a little bit more arm work into it. But that's why I like to spray first and let it sit, because the longer you let it sit, the less you have to scrub. But I will say the Bissell Steam Shot did get my grades way better than I ever have using anything else. So that's exciting. So for someone who doesn't really love cleaning gadgets, I'm kind of an old-fashioned sponge and rag kind of cleaner. And with my many years of experience, I've cleaned lots of different things. I was really excited to give this a try, and I am really pleased with how it worked. But I think for my everyday maintenance, I will be sticking to my Scrub Daddy sponge and my thieves cleaner. But I am excited to try this around my house and other areas. So stay tuned to see what else I deep clean with this.